From Ditchwalk Field in Austin, on the campus of the University of Texas, the University Interscholastic League, in conjunction with Jeff Watts Productions, brings to you the 2000 State Championship game of Class 4A of Texas. A rather bizarre beginning to the Class 4A State Championship game between the Port Neches-Groves Indians and the Calallen Wildcats, as nearly 2 hours ago the game began, and a power outage kept us from beginning tape on the championship. We were not able to get what turned out to be the first 3 batters before action was called by rain. Actually, home plate umpire Paul Burnett clearing out the field at the first sign of lightning in right field, which we believe had something to do with our power shortage. But there you see a nice crowd on hand to see the Port Neches-Groves Indians battle the Calallen Wildcats. Calallen is at bat, and they bring to the plate the following batting order. Leading off is Kurt Hubble, followed by Matt Bodie and Brandon Whitner. Derek Rushop bats 4th, followed by John Ross Hirschfield and Jason Broughton. Batting 7th, J.R. DeLeon, Clint Miller, number 8, and Sam Gordon, number 9. As we said, we kind of join in progress with the top of the first inning. Kurt Hubble began the game by grounding out to second baseman Ricky Thompson. Matt Bodie followed with a fly out to center field, and Ryan Norton. This third batter of the game, Brandon Whitner, doubled to the left field wall. So we pick up action here, back from the rain delay. And Cody Elkins, the pitcher, hits one out to left field. Rushop puts one in left. It gets to the wall. 1 run is home. And here comes Rushop, holding up at third with an RBI triple. Action beginning with a bang. Back at Tisch Falk. Right back from the rain delay, and an RBI triple for Derek Rushop. That brings up John Ross Hirschfield. As we said, Cody Elkins on the mound for PNG. And as we take a look around the infield and outfield, we see the defensive alignment of PNG. From the outfield, from right to left, Troy Cooley, Ryan Norton, and Stephen Gary. The infield, Cody Clark at first base, Ricky Thompson at second, Dustin Long, the shortstop, and Chase Richards at third. And John Ross Hirschfield goes down swinging. Cody Elkins gets out of the inning. It took about a little over 2 hours to complete the top of the first, but we are through a half of an inning in the 4A title game, and Calallen leads 1-0. Line shot into left field, in for a base hit. And Chase Richards is aboard with a one-out single at the bottom of the first. Troy Cooley led off the bottom of the first by striking out looking. Now Chase Richards is followed with a single to left. Now Cody Clark to the plate to face Jason John. Clark 0 for 2 in the semifinal win. It has been quite a battle to play between the raindrops in this state tournament as we were able to get the 1A and 2A state championships in without a hitch. A liner to Matt Bodie at second. Over to second for one. Back to first. Not in time as the ball skips off the glove of John Ross Hirschfield, the first baseman. But the Wildcats do get the out, the force at second. And Clark is aboard via the fielder's choice. Bo Wortham now steps to the plate. 2 outs and a runner on. For the PNG senior. Hammer to right center field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Clark holding at second. And 2 runners are aboard for Dustin Long. Dustin Long 0 for 2 with an RBI in yesterday's semifinal win, or Thursday's semifinal win, rather. And we'll have a pinch runner for Bo Wortham. Adam Ladeau now pinch running at first base. Well, of course, Dustin Long, one of the many talented football players from Port Neches-Groves, reaching the state championship game of Class 4A Division II. And has signed to quarterback for the Texas A&M Aggies. Count runs to 2 balls and a strike on Wortham, the quarterback for a very successful campaign of the football team. Of course, many football players on this team were Cody Clark, Bo Wortham, Ryan Norton, and Cody Elkins, the pitcher for PNG, the quarterback to be for PNG next season. 3 balls and a strike to Dustin Long. Jason John's delivery is high, and the bases are loaded full of Indians. Paul Burnett, the home plate umpire, who's already been busy today, not only calling balls and strikes, but looking over the playing field. And now Steve Chapman, the Calallen head coach, waving in these outfielders as Kyle Stute steps to the plate and lifts the ball high to left field. Derek Rushoff is underneath it and squeezes out number 3. P&G loads the bases, but Calallen gets out of the jam. We're through 1 complete, and the Wildcats lead 1-0. To the top of the second we go, and hopefully several things around this facility will go a little smoother here as we continue with the Class 4A state championship game. Calallen leading 1-0 and looking to do a little more as Jason Broughton lifts the ball high to left field. Stephen Gary is underneath it and has it in foul territory. That brings up J.R. DeLeon. DeLeon the DH. For the pitcher, Jason John. DeLeon 1 for 2 with an RBI and a semifinal win. Elkins evening the count at 1-1. DeLeon, a senior, batting .342, entering the tournament. DeLeon the DH, but also can come on in relief. He enters this tournament with an 8-0 pitching record. The 2-1 pitch is high for ball 3. Well, a tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico has wreaked havoc on central Texas and the Hill Country this weekend. Pouring rain and delaying state championship play. As John runs the count full. Thursday's semifinal racked with rain, and the 1A semifinal matchups nearly flooded at Burger Field. They had to move their games to Southwest Texas State University. DeLeon goes down swinging for out number 2. Second strikeout for Elkins. That brings up Clint Miller, the number 8 hole hitter. Miller, another senior, batted .299 entering the tournament. 0 for 2 with yesterday's semifinal or Thursday's semifinal with a run scored. He lifts the ball high to the infield. That second baseman Ricky Thompson calls for and has. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Cody Elkins and a 1-0 Calallen lead after 1.5. Here you see a large section of the crowd over the first base side of a crowd that would appear to be in excess of 3,000 to 4,000. This Dishwalk Field holds more than 6,000, but a lot of those seats are further up the right field line facing the outfield and our bleacher seating. But a nice one on hand, as though Friday's championship round was suspended by rain. Saturday championship day has freed up a few more folks to come down to Austin and enjoy some championship action. Ricky Thompson leads off the bottom of the second and hits a ball of Brandon Whitner at shortstop. Throws over to Hirschfield for out number 1. And brings up Ryan Norton. He'll be followed by Stephen Gary. Norton, an all-state wide receiver on the football squad. Of course, as we said, a good portion of this team made up of football players. First pitch misses for a ball. And Jason John evens the count at 1-1. Of course, Bo Wortham, the tailback on the football team, has made his commitment to baseball, signing a baseball scholarship with Lamar University. A ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Norton. Fouls one right off the handle of the bat, or nearly hit him on the hands. Runs the count full, or evens the count at 2-2. Norton 1 for 3 in the semifinal win. Lifts one high to right. Sam Gordon underneath it and has out number 2. So Stephen Gary, the number 9 hole hitter, will see his first plate appearance. Gary 0 for 3 in the semifinal game. Big curveball from Jason John. Over the plate for a strike. Gary, yet another senior. The 1-1 pitch. Foul away. One-two pitches on the outside corner for a called strike 3. The second strikeout for Jason John ends the second inning. We've played 2 complete of the 4A title game. It's a 1-0 Calallen lead. Well, the wind doing now what it was to begin this championship day. Nothing doing as we begin the top of the 3rd inning. Calallen to bring up their number 9 hitter, Sam Gordon, followed by Kirk Hubble and Matt Bodie. The day started, this is the 3rd championship of this day. Started out with a 1A championship with overcast skies. It was 73 degrees to begin the day. And got the 1A and 2A championship games without a hitch. Then the wind picked up steadily from the south. And the rain followed shortly. Big swing and a miss by Gordon. The 0-2 pitch to Gordon. Misses high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Cody Elkins, after getting ahead 0-2, running the count full. Drilled just past Elkins, and Gordon is aboard with a base hit. Elkins throwing up his glove nearly in self-defense. And the leadoff runner is aboard for the Wildcats as they return to the top of their lineup and Kirk Hubble. Hubble, a senior, batting .353, entering the tournament. Went 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored in the semifinal win. Also had an RBI. Has a runner aboard with no outs in the third. Misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Elkins with a breaking ball that kicks outside, and got to get a visit from Ricky Thompson, the second baseman. Gordon at first, and Hubble with a 3-0 count. And Elkins lost him. Two runners aboard now for Matt Bodie. As we'll get a visit to the mound from Jay Stone, the PNG head coach, who's no stranger to the state tournament. Of course, it was Coach Stone who coached at Nederland and brought them to state tournament in 95 and 97, both times losing out in the semifinal round, however. So his first trip to the state championship game, now in his third year. Now in his third year with the Indians. Matt Bodie showing bunt and having to get out of the way of that high and inside fastball. There's Stone, the third-year coach. A ball and no strikes to Matt Bodie. Again shows bunt and fouls it off. Brandon Whitner awaits on deck. Calallen with a run on 2 hits in the first inning. Bodie again can't get the bunt down. Cody Elkins had a rough go in the first couple of batters, but now ahead of Matt Bodie, 1 and 2. And Bodie lifts one high to right field. And that's Ricky Thompson from his second base position, ranging into right field and making the grab. One away for Brandon Whitner. As we said, Whitner had a fine day in the semifinal game, a 2-for-4 day with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Another high and inside offering from Cody Elkins. And the 1-0 pitch. Hits the inside corner for a strike, says home plate umpire Paul Burnett. Other umpires, first base umpire is Dale Miller, second base umpire R.B. Powell, and third base Joe Callahan. A ball and a strike to Brandon Whitner. Hammered into left field, high, but not deep enough for Stephen Gary to get underneath it and have out number 2. A very still wind that will not help a lot of balls. We have seen 1 home run today in the 2A championship game, a grand slam from the Weimar Wildcats. Went on to win the state championship of Class 2A. Our 1A state champion crowned earlier this morning, the Rebels of Evadale, knocking off Cross Plains 11-10 in a game where 13 errors were committed. There's a pickoff throw. Wortham throwing up to second base, and covering is Ricky Thompson. That's Sam Gordon up there, getting back in time. Derek Rushop. A ball and no strikes. Big cut from Rushop. Two outs and 2 aboard. And a little tapper in front of the mound. Elkins has to come and has no play. Rushop nubbing that ball off the end of the bat and just getting it out in front of home plate, and being a right-handed batter as he took off for first base, essentially got in the way of Bo Wortham, who couldn't interfere with the runner, so had to hesitate and got a late jump on the ball. And Cody Elkins from his pitching position unable to come over and field that ball. So bases loaded for John Ross Hirschfield. As I mentioned, just the last game, the 2A state championship game, we saw a grand slam from a young man who the Weimar Wildcat, who's also the starting pitcher, went on to win the game. A ball and no strikes to Hirschfield. Elkins a long look at Wortham. Now the delivery. Fouled away to even the count at 1-1. Well, the big crowd that was sent scrambling about 2 hours ago as the rains came, and everyone in that lower level you just saw there had to scramble up for cover. That pitch misses outside, and now Elkins behind at 2-1. Tagged into center field. It's going to fall for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. And the ball gets away from the infield and into the dugout. A 3rd run scores. A 4-0 lead for Calallen. A double to center by John Ross Hirschfield. Brings home 2, then a throwing error. Clears the bases. And Hirschfield ending up at 3rd base. And the center fielder, Ryan Norton, charged with the error. Jason Broughton now at the plate, looking for a big inning for Calallen. Hits one up the middle. Justin Long fields it over to first. In time, and P&G escapes with only 3. But a big inning. The Wildcats put 3 across on the big hit by John Ross Hirschfield. It's a 4-0 lead for the Wildcats after 2.5 in the 4A final. And the bottom of the 3rd we go. Troy Cooley to lead things off. He'll be followed by Chase Richards and Cody Clark. Cooley led off the game for P&G on a called strike 3. And P&G looking to get out of a hole early. And that pitch hit him. Clint Miller, the catcher, was able to catch it, but home plate umpire Paul Burnett indicating the ball grazing Cooley. So leadoff runner aboard for P&G as Chase Richards now comes up to the plate. He singled to left in the 1st inning and was forced out at second on a double play attempt by Calallen. Chopper to first base side is foul. Calallen trying to avoid a very dubious bit of baseball history in Texas. Of course, the Wildcats losing in the state championship round each of the last 2 years. They lost to Highland Park in 1998, then to Andrews last year. No team in Texas baseball history has ever lost 3 consecutive championship games. So Calallen looking to get on the winning side, and they've got a good start, up 4-0. A 1-1 count to Chase Richards. And for a strike. You'll have to pardon our crowd, Mike, but it is a full house. And a hot shot for Matt Bodie. He misplays it, and everyone's aboard. Now it gets away from him, and alertly, Troy Cooley escapes to third base. So Richards is on by an E4, and they are assessing 2 errors to Bodie at second base. The fielding error that allows Richards to first, and then a second error to allow Cooley to third. So 2 runners aboard and still no outs for Cody Clark, as P&G with a big opportunity to get right back into this one here in the bottom of the third. Clark on by fielder's choice in the first. Big cut from Clark. The 6th trip to the state tournament for Calallen. And maybe more impressively, the 6th appearance in the last 9 years. First 3 trips to the state tournament in 93, 95, and 96. The Wildcats losing out in the semifinal round. 98 and 99, both times able to reach the state championship round, but as we say, coming up short in the title game. A 1-2 count to Clark, who fouls it away, stays alive. For P&G, their second appearance in the state tournament. Ball just gets away from Clint Miller. He throws to second. Matt Bodie playing up, fields the ball, and keeps Troy Cooley in place at third base. So now the force is off, and runners at second, third. A wild pitch assessed to Jason John. Two balls and 2 strikes. Foul away and keeps alive. The second appearance for P&G in the state tournament, but their first since 1958. Clark fouls another one off to stay alive. 1958, just the 10th year for the state tournament. And that was back in the days where the 2 semifinal losers actually played a game for third place. P&G losing in the semifinal round, but winning the third place game over Snyder. That one just Class 4A and 3A teams competed at P&G at the 3A level at the time. South San Antonio eventually winning the state championship. South San Antonio holds the Texas state record for the most state tournament appearances. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cody Clark. Jason John, the delivery. Hit to Matt Bodie at second. Over to Hirschfield. And there's one away as the run scores. Troy Cooley puts P&G on the board as Cody Clark grounds out 4-3. Chase Richards advances to third. So a runner still in scoring position for Bo Wortham. Wortham singled in the first inning and was stranded at second, or at least his pinch runner was, Ladeau. Big fastball from John hits the outside corner. Now John gets behind at 2-1. Well, some of the crowd for the awaiting the play of the 3A state championship is beginning to fill in, as there is a big crowd on hand right now. There's a chopper. Bodie far to his right. Can't get it. Run comes across. And Bo Wortham aboard with an infield single. And an RBI. Bodie nearly making out an outstanding play. Now the P&G fans with plenty to cheer about, as their Indians have cut Calallen's deficit in half at 4-2. A runner still aboard for Dustin Long. Long walked and was stranded in the first inning. As we said, the 3A game to be played shortly between Yoakum and China Springs here on this championship Saturday. It's normally Championship Friday for the state baseball tournament. They play the semifinals on Thursday, the finals on Friday, for the very purpose of having Saturday is a rain day. And this comes into effect this year as Long slaps a single into center field. Back-to-back center field singles by Bo Wortham and Dustin Long. And P&G continuing to rally here in the bottom of the third. Kyle Stutz now to the plate. Flew out to left in the first inning, and John Ross Hirschfield, the first baseman, and Clint Biddle, the catcher, visiting with Jason John, and now Coach Steve Chapman will join in the chat. Chapman, no stranger, as we said, to the state tournament. The one thing he lacks, though, is the big one and the ring. He's done a great job with Calallen, and of course so many people regard the school as a football school, but with Coach Steve Chapman around, it has turned into one of the great baseball powers of South Texas. Well, the P&G fans doing the old two bits and the cheer that rattled Kyle Stutz out of the batter's box. Now he steps back in with two runners on and one out. Ricky Thompson is on deck should the rally stay alive. The 1-0. Hit to the right side, through for a base hit. It's going to score a run. Wortham being waved home, but now he's held up. Jay Stone, the head coach, holds him up, and the bases are jammed full of Indians. And it looks like P&G is on the verge of a pretty big inning. Already 2 runs across. And now we're being told that another weather system with a whole bunch of rain is headed this way again from the southeast. Liner up the middle, fielded by Bodie. The force at second, but yet another run scores. Wortham scoring on the force out. No RBI for Thompson. And Dustin Long advances to third base, and now the tying run is just 90 feet away for Ryan Norton, number 8 hole hitter who flew out to right in the second inning. Swings at the first offering and into those auxiliary. And we're going to look at our information as there we see up in the press box a look at some of that nasty green and yellow stuff heading for Travis County. 0-1 pitch by Norton, falls for a base hit. The tying run has scored. Now, here comes Thompson in at third, and we're all tied up at 4. An RBI single by Ryan Norton has tied this game at 4. And now Stephen Gary looks to keep the rally going with runners on the corner. Gary struck out looking to end the second inning. And a wild, wild pitch that's going to score the go-ahead run. A 5-run third inning for PNG as Ricky Thompson comes across with the go-ahead run. And now, Coach Steve Chapman has apparently seen all he needs to see, and he's got to make a pitching change. Wow, a strong 2 innings as Jason John allows only 2 hits through the first 2 innings. He had a 1-2-3 second inning, but now out of the third inning with 2 outs, and there's a pitching game in the 4A title game. Well, there you see Austin, the pen pointing at Austin in what is the middle of Travis County. And there to the southwest, where you see at least the arrow down by that number 400. And what that means is it is headed this way. Ugly stuff, but we continue. J.R. DeLeon is the pitcher now for Calallen. He stares down at Stephen Gary, the number 9 hitter. DeLeon inherits a runner at second base and what has been a very productive third inning for the Indians. DeLeon, as we told you, already designated hitting in this game in the Calallen lineup. And behind Gary at 3-1. And as we said a little while ago, An 8-0 record for De Leon entering this game. That pitch just misses. Paul Burnett, the home plate umpire, has a delayed strike call that has a lot of participants guessing at the call. Well, the Calallen coaching staff out of the dugout and shouting their displeasure. And PNG has batted around. We're back to the top of the lineup where we started to begin this inning. Troy Cooley started it all off, being hit by a pitch. He scored on the Cody Clark ground out to second base. Now J.R. De Leon trying to bail out the Wildcats. The 2-0 pitch. It's the outside corner for strike one. Hammered into right center field. Sam Gordon coming on and has out number 3. But PNG brings 10 batters to the plate. They score 5 runs. It's a 1-run lead for the Indians after 3 complete in the 4A championship game. It all looks pretty innocent right now, but the trouble is coming from just beyond the right field fence and should arrive shortly from what we understand. We're to the top of the 4th inning we go. J.R. De Leon, now the Calallen pitcher, to lead things off. Will be followed by Clint Miller and Sam Gordon. Cody Elkins on the mound for PNG. Two balls and 1 strike, the count. As happy as some will be about it. Count even at 2-2. PNG now trying to hold on to what was a 5-run 3rd inning, 5 runs off of 4 hits with 2 Calallen errors. They brought 10 batters to the plate. And now Cody Elkins trying to nurse that 1-run lead. De Leon swings and misses. Strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Elkins. Elkins comes into this game with a record of 7-3, but got perhaps the most prized victory of all for PNG, or at least in the minds of many in Southeast Texas. Facing their district rival, Little Cypress-Mauriceville, in the region final. LCM, the 3rd place team. PNG, the runner-up out of District 20. The district champion was Nederland. And Little Cypress-Mauriceville, the 3rd place team. A 1-1 pitch. Fouled away. And waking up the photography crew. It was Little Cypress-Mauriceville who in the region semifinal round of the playoffs beat out their district champion Nederland. And then P&G, as we said in the region final, knocking out LCL. There's a rip to left field, but right there in position is left fielder Stephen Gary, right there for the out. Defense had Miller played just right. And that little matchup between district rivals in the region final is not that uncommon. In fact, it happened in every classification this year, where a team had to get by a district opponent in order to get to the state tournament. Sam Gordon, the number 9 hitter now, at the plate and watches strike one. In Class 5A, Sugarland Elkins, who will play for the 5A championship game later today, hopefully, had to get by Clements, one of their district rivals. Ball knocked to Chase Richards at third. Over to Clark at first. Makes a fine grab. A 1-2-3 inning for Cody Elkins. We are through 3.5 of the 4A title game. A 1-run lead for the Indians. Bottom of the fourth we go. And Shane Richards to lead things off for P&G. Trying to perhaps extend a 1-run lead. There is a slight sprinkle. It is beginning to, we are having a little bit of some moisture up here in and around Dishwalk Field. But not enough to chase off the fans in the lower levels. They are throwing on the parkas and the umbrellas. Liner into right center field. That's in for a base hit. And it might get to the wall. Richards steaming for second and being waved into third. Rounding second. And it's going to be a stand-up triple for Chase Richards to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. It's like the old saying, hit them where they ain't. And Richards, a nice liner in between Sam Gordon and Kirk Hubble to the right center field power alley near the signature of Roger Clemens, where his number 21 is retired on the right field wall. Cody Clark now with a runner 90 feet away and put up the Indians by a deuce. Clark reached by a fielder's choice in the first inning, then grounded out to second in the third. J.R. DeLeon ahead of Clark at 0-2. Big swing and a miss by Clark. Chased after it. And that is strikeout number 1 for DeLeon. Wortham now enjoying a 2-for-2 day as an RBI to go along with that. His third inning single to center scored Chase Richards. Wortham went on to score a run himself on a 4-6 ground out. 2 balls and no strikes. Misses inside. Lifted high, but in foul ground. John Ross Hirschfield makes the grab. Heading towards the right field fence, and maybe some friendly Calallen fans around there helping him out. And there are 2 away after the pop foul. Chase Richards still awaits on third base, hoping that Dustin Long now can bring him in. J.R. DeLeon missing high. 1 run has already scored on a wild pitch. That, though, from Jason John. And there you see the rain beginning to fall a little more steadily. Of course, from this camera, you're seeing not only the rain falling, but also some additional moisture coming off the netting behind home plate. 2 balls and no strikes to Long. DeLeon, the wide delivery. Hit left side. Jason Broughton. And a throw gets away from Hirschfield, and the run scores. Throwing error will be charged to Broughton at third. And it's a 2-run lead for the Indians. Hirschfield had to make a great play on that and just couldn't scoop it out. So now Kyle Stutz steps to the plate, and P&G just keeps finding ways to start rallies. Misplay by Hirschfield. Now the scoop from DeLeon gets him. Hirschfield had a problem getting that ball, but a nice recovery by DeLeon to get the out. 3-1-3 goes the out, but P&G pushes another across, and it is a 2-run lead, and we have completed 4 in the 4A championship game. What you see there is what you saw on that radar screen a little while ago. That is some of the green stuff. And a soft liner off the bat of Kurt Hubble to Chase Richards begins the top of the 5th inning. Now Matt Bodie, who has flown out to the outfield twice. The nasty stuff is starting to come in from over the right field bleachers. And the sprinkles we showed a little while ago picking up a little bit more. You can see the little, in this shot right here, a pretty good sign of the rain coming down. A ball and a strike to Matt Bodie. Big curveball by Cody Elkins misses. And there you see this is the Calallen side of people taking cover. That ball is out of play, and Parka's going for $5 here at Dish Vlog, and they're making a killing today. Really over the last couple of days. Championship Friday rather, began with a 1A state championship game on Friday. They got in an inning and a half before rain suspended everything, and they just bumped everything to today, Saturday, June 10. The 2-2 pitch. Hit right back to Elkins, fields it cleanly. Over to Clark for out number 2. Elkins fielding his position well. Now there's 2 away for Brandon Whitner. Whitner doubled in the first inning. And a big pop to left field. It's way over the wall, but also way foul. A ball and a strike to Brandon Whitner, who went on to score in the first inning on the RBI triple by Derek Bouchard. The 2-1 pitch. Hammered down the left field line and fair. Whitner digging for 2. As Gary has to field it off the fence and left, and a stand-up triple with 2 outs in the 5th. A stand-up double, rather. And there you see some action in the bullpen over there for P&G. As Kyle Stutz warms up. Derek Bouchard now at the plate. He's 2 for 2 in this game already. He's tripled in the first inning as an RBI triple. Then he singled and scored in the 3rd. Hits it high. And calling for it is Cody Clark, or actually Ricky Thompson, the second baseman. He has it for out number 2. So a little drama on the part of the Wildcats, but P&G gets out of it. We are through 4.5 in the 4A title game. Now the bottom of the 5th, and Ricky Thompson to lead things off for the Indians. Facing J.R. DeLeon on the mound for the Wildcats. Thompson 0 for 2 officially. He grounded out to short in the second inning, then reached by a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning and scored on that wild pitch from Jason John that eventually took him out of action. A wild pitch that was so wild it nearly hit the backstop and got back to the catcher, Clint Miller, to make the tag. But a 4-pitch walk to begin the 5th inning for the Indians. And now a visit to the mound from Steve Chapman. as Ryan Norton is announced as the next batter. Looks like Coach Chapman is not coming with the hook, offering a little encouragement to J.R. DeLeon as the Wildcats just trying to stop the bleeding of what is a 2-run deficit. Ryan Norton now at the plate. 1 for 2 with a fly out to right and a single to right. Line into center field and on to make a nice diving catch is Kirk Hubble. Outstanding catch in center field by Kirk Hubble. And there's one away in the bottom of the 5th. Stephen Gary, the number 9 hitter, now at the plate. A runner on base and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Leadoff batter Troy Cooley is on deck. Ricky Thompson at first. Stephen Gary at the plate. Watching strike 1. High and tight. And DeLeon behind at 3-1. DeLeon lost him. That's now 2 walks in the last 3 batters to the numbers 7 and 9 hitters of the lineup. And Steve Chapman is coming to the mound and will make a change. DeLeon will exit. And we'll have a new pitcher in the 1A in the 4A title game. Well, Wayne Wagon earned the win for the Wildcats in their semifinal victory 2 days ago. He did just pitch 6 innings, allowing only 4 hits and no runs, striking out 5 against the Riverside Rangers of El Paso. And strike 1 to Troy Cooley. Lined to third base, touching the bag for 1 and over to first in time. Nice play at third by Jason Broughton, getting the Wildcats out of the inning. A great play to field the ball, stepping on third for the force, and then a strong throw to Hirschfield at first for the double play. We are through 5 complete in the 4A championship, a 6-4 lead for P&G. And the top of the 6th we go. And Calallen needing some offense to get back in this one. They trail by 2. But down to their final 6 outs, they lead off the top of the 6th inning with John Ross Hirschfield. 1 for 2 with a strikeout. And then a double in the 3rd. He was left stranded at 3rd. The big clouds keep moving in from right. Boy, they're hard to deny. Big curveball from Cody Elkins misses and evens the count at 1-1. Two balls and a strike to Hirschfield. Ball hits the outside corner to even the count up at 2-2. Now the count runs full. Cody Elkins has allowed 4 runs through the first 5 innings. Off of 6 Calallen hits. Drive to left field is going to fall for a base hit. Hirschfield is aboard, lining a single in front of Stephen Gary in left. And the Calallen fans waking up and smelling a rally perhaps here in the 6th. Wildcats have watched championship celebrations from the other side the last 2 years, and now will have to come back if they will make someone watch them celebrate and hoist the trophy over their shoulders. A ball and no strikes to Broughton, who just in the last half inning made an outstanding defensive play at third base. Now home plate umpire Paul Burnett calling time, and something got another loose baseball as the 3A, Class 3A teams getting ready to play the state championship game following this one, warming up down the right field line. A ball and a strike to Broughton. Elkins missing low. Dustin Long coming over from a shortstop position to offer some encouragement to Cody Elkins. In a little trouble here. The 2-1 pitch. Missing high. We showed you the flags earlier when the Texas flag is sitting still. Now you see a little more action as the winds are coming in from the south. A 3-1 pitch to Broughton. And there's the strike call again. Kind of a slow, casual strike call from Paul Burnett. And runs the count full. J.R. DeLeon awaits on deck. Calallen trying to make something happen at the top of the sixth. Broughton fouls it away. No outs and a full count to Jason Broughton. And he lost him. Two runners aboard and no outs. J.R. DeLeon will be the batter, but Jay Stone, the Indians coach, come out to visit Cody Elkins and is asking for the ball. That'll be it for Elkins. And we'll have yet another pitching change in what is becoming a very interesting Class 4A championship game. Well, Kyle Stutz, we've seen throughout this game in the P&G lineup as the designated hitter. Now he comes to the mound to try to save his team as the tying runs for Calallen are on base. Stutz with an 11-2 record entering the tournament. And he's facing J.R. DeLeon, now his pitching counterpart. Stutz got the win in the semifinal game against Arlington Heights. DeLeon couldn't lay down the bunt. Stutz pitching the complete game, allowing only one earned run off of 3 hits and struck out 7 Arlington Heights Yellow Jackets. So the rain day really proving to be an advantage for teams, both these teams in fact. The bunt fouled away as both teams now are with going with the pitcher that won them their semifinal game. So the added day of rest proving big benefits for both Calallen and P&G. Wayne Wagon on the mound for Calallen. And here, Kyle Stutz for P&G. Looking down at J.R. DeLeon. Big curveball, strike 3. There's one away. DeLeon strikes out for the 3rd time in this game. And now it's Clinton Miller to try to start up a rally for the Wildcats. Tying runs are on base. Wind blowing from right to left field as Miller stares down the big left-hander. Misses inside, the ball gets away from Wortham. Both runners advance and will hold. Hirschfield down to 3rd. And Broughton to 2nd. So the bases are jammed full of Wildcats, and the fans are acknowledging it. On their feet, a lot of maroon and white on the first base line. After Miller hit by the pitch to load the bases. Now Sam Gordon, the number 9 hole hitter. He's 1 for 2. Singled in the third and scored a run and grounded out to third in the fourth. Takes a first pitch strike from Stutes. The Wildcats with the go-ahead run on base with 1 out. Stutes delivers to Gordon, who fouls it away. The wind picking up here at Dishwalk, but so is the energy. Big swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gordon goes down on strikes, and Kyle Stutes has come in with 2 big strikeouts in the 6th, but still the bases remain loaded now with 2 outs. And Calallen is back to the top of their lineup with Kirk Hubble. Hubble 0 for 2 day with a ground out to second and a line out to third. A big curveball from Stutes. Hubble, a big swing and a miss. Stutes offered him a fastball about shoulder high. Hubble went fishing for it. So Stutes now ahead at 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and 0-2 count to Kirk Hubble. And a big curveball just misses the strike zone. And Kyle Stutes is going to take a lap around the mound to think about how Paul Burnett did not think that was a strike. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch to Hubble. Lines one to the infield to Dustin Long. Fields it cleanly. Over to first, and it's not handled by Clark. And this game is tied. It's 2-run score. We are tied at 6 in the top of the 6th. Dustin Long's throw was short. Clark had to make a scoop and couldn't hang on. Hirschfield scores easily. Then Jason Broughton comes across with the tying run. Clint Miller advances to second base. Hubble now on first on the E6. 2 runners on, 2 outs, and Matt Bodie to the plate. The Wildcats start off the inning with a base hit and a walk. And now we got a new ball game. Stutes hits low for a strike. The 0-1. Strike 2. Not sure if the Calallen fans are arguing the call as much as just Paul Burnett's style of leaving them in suspense. Another 0-2 count for Kyle Stutes. Bodie thought about it and laid off the big curveball inside. Calallen with the go-ahead run at second base. Bodie swings and hits a ball that will go foul on the third base line. Kyle Stutz, with his 7 strikeouts in the semifinal win, also did not allow a walk. And we're seeing why. He will throw the strikes and likes to stay ahead of the hitter. He's got 2 strikeouts in the inning and has a 1-2 count to Bodie, who swings and misses, strike 3. Stutz gets out of the inning, but not before a costly error brings 2 runs across. It's a brand new ball game. We're all tied up at 6 after 5.5 of the 4A championship game. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, and P&G now having to battle back as they will bring the numbers 2, 3, and 4 batters of their lineup, beginning with Chase Richards. Richards, a 2 for 3 afternoon, but has reached base all 3 times. He reached by an error in the 3rd inning and scored. And Wayne Wagon quickly getting ahead of Richards 0-2. Richards tripled in the 4th and scored. Big curveball from Wagon. That's a great pitch. Strikeout for Wagon. And we're 1 away in the 6th, and Cody Clark now steps to the plate. Calallen lost a 4-0 lead in the 3rd inning when P&G hung a 5 spot on them. They went on to get another run in the 4th to take a 6-4 lead. But Calallen got it back in the last inning, 2 runs. Both runs scoring on a bases-loaded throwing error. All tied up. Cody Clark 0 for 3. He reached by a fielder's choice in the 1st. Grounded to 2nd and has struck out. Wagner now behind at 2-1. Clark lines one just foul on the right field line. Dale Miller, the first base umpire, making the call and being glad that that ball wasn't a line drive because I don't know that he'd be out of his way. Letting second base umpire R.B. Powell know that he is very thankful. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another big swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Wagon. That brings up Bo Wortham. Wortham a 2 for 3 day. Afternoon. A single right in the 1st. And this time he hits one to Matt Bodie at 2nd. Over to 1st in time. A 1-2-3 inning for the Calallen Wildcats. We head to the 7th inning of the 4A championship game. We're all knotted up at 6 apiece. Well, making the drive up Interstate 37 from Corpus Christi are the fans of Calallen. Bringing the cheerleaders along. Some have brought their cheerleaders in uniform. Some have brought them, or some have just come along in their street clothes. But as it is, we are in the payoff inning. The 7th inning. Calallen to bring to the plate. Numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters of their lineup. Brandon Whitner leading things off. Whitner a 2 for 3 afternoon. A double in the first and he scored. A fly out to left in the third and a double. In the 5th, he was left stranded. Big curveball from Kyle Stutes hits the outside corner. I'm sure many of the fans around here, the good 5,000 to 6,000 of them there are. The ball is lined to Dustin Long. It's short. Over to first. In time. A nice stretch by Cody Clark at first, and he squeezes out number 1. A lot of these fans hoping this game ends pretty soon so they can get out of Dish Falk and get to their cars while they're dry. A look at above right field. Sees a lot of that nasty stuff that, whoa, that stuff you saw on the radar earlier. And that's the activity coming in from the southeast. It stands to make this game interesting here, and hopefully a while. Derek Ushop now at the plate. With a 2 for 3 afternoon. A triple in the first inning. He was left stranded. And a single, infield single in the 3rd. He came around to score, and he has popped out to second base. Big, thick, ugly, dark clouds are coming over and making a lot of fans nervous. A ball on a strike to Ushop. Hit to right field. Cody Clark and Troy Cooley giving chase, and neither can reach it. A pretty generous foul territory here at Dish Falk. And even though the lights are on, it has got dark real quick here. A ball and 2 strikes to Ushop. And a big swing and a miss. Strike 3. Stutes sits down Ushop. And there's 2 away for John Ross Hirschfield. Calallen running out of opportunities to put some runs on the board. A pretty similar line as each team with 6 runs off of 7 hits. And now we start to see some fans scamper for dry ground. And holy smokes, the skies just opened up, and this stuff came down quick. Holy Toledo. An absolute waterfall just dropped out from the sky with hardly any warning. Well, the first stoppage of play lasted a little more than an hour. But we are told this will pass, so though this won't affect many of you watching this, there's a stoppage of play once again in the Class 4A championship game between Port Neches-Groves and Calallen. Nice play at shortstop by Dustin Long to close out the 6th inning as play resumes in the 4A championship game. And just like that, we're out of it. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Tied at 6 in the 4A championship. Well, once again, like our first break in action, for as long of a break as was taken for the halting of play, the delay of play because of the rain, when they're ready to play, all 9 players get in the field and the umpire signals for the pitcher to throw, and there's still people still trying to find their seats from underneath the stands. We are in the bottom of the 7th, the Class 4A state championship game. Port Neches-Groves and Calallen tied at 6. PNG now to play with Dustin Long. Long, a 1 for 2 day. He singled and scored in the 3rd. He walked into 1st, and he reached by an error in the 4th. Wayne Wagon rocks and fires and evens the count at 1-1. Well, in all, about the delay was just a little less than an hour. Three balls and a strike. Taken by Long, and he's on base. The go-ahead championship run is on first base for PNG. And Kyle Stutz, who in the last inning of the game, last couple of innings of the game, has been inserted as pitcher. So now, with an opportunity to earn himself the win, if he can knock home Dustin Long. Hit to the left side and through for a base hit. Derek Rushop comes up with it cleanly and brings it back to the infield. 2 runners aboard with no outs in the bottom of the 7th. And the suspense builds. Pinch runner coming in for the Indians. Roland Ratcliffe. So walk and a single to start off the bottom of the 7th. And now the go-ahead run at second base. A ball and no strikes to Ricky Thompson. Well, for this game is going to take nearly 6 hours to play with all of the delays. Thompson showing bunt and taking. Ball 3. Wayne Wagon, after an extended time delay, nearly an hour, now struggling to find a strike zone. An unfortunate set of circumstances that has led to the 7th inning. And Wagon left to rest for a while. But now is the time to come up big. 2 runners on and no outs. That one gets across for a strike. Well, they have announced that the 3A and 5A championship games will be played on Friday, so there is just some nasty stuff all around Travis County. And the 3-1 pitch to Thompson. Misses on the bunt attempt and runs the count full. After sitting through the rain for nearly an hour, the 4A championship game coming towards a climactic end. And he fouls off the bunt. He's out on strikes. Thompson can't get the bunt down, and there's one away. Ryan Norton now with a chance to pull his Indians ahead. A run across will win it for the Indians. Norton 1 for 3. He singled in the third inning. Was stranded at second. Dustin Long at second. Ratcliffe at first. And Matt Wagner still struggling to find the strike zone. Foul back, and Wagner is able to even out the count. The Calallen coaching staff outside of the dugout, a good 5 to 6 strides, shouting instructions at their defense. Every run, every base runner treated extremely critically. And again, the delayed call for Paul Burnett is low for a ball. Now Ryan Norton will be looking at a 3-1 pitch. The crowd has shrunken down considerably since the crowds of the 3A and 5A participants, or at least the 3A game, China Springs and Yoakum have dispatched and left for home. Now the 3-1 pitch to Ryan Norton. Foul out of play. There you get a pretty good look at the crowd that has decided to stick around on this championship Saturday. Pretty full house on hand still. A full count to Ryan Norton. Dustin Long representing the championship run on second base. Many of these Indians already denied a state championship earlier this year. A ball lifted high to right field. Sam Gordon underneath it. He has it. Long tagging up at second, heading for third. There'll be no throw. Championship run 90 feet away. And Ryan Norton getting a huge pat on the back by his teammates for doing his job and at least moving the runner over. Now the number 9 hole hitter, Stephen Gary. Clint Miller will go and visit with Wayne Maggot on the mound. And we are getting to the point where something's got to happen. The Calallen side is rising to their feet. Gary will watch Magden check the runners. And what a championship moment this is. What a treat for the crowd. As Gary swings and misses at a high fastball. Many times in a championship game, you never know when one team is simply going to outmatch the other, like Calallen did in their semifinal game. But a classic here. Now, 2 strikes on Stephen Gary. And perhaps Wayne Magnet has found his rhythm after allowing a leadoff walk followed by a base hit to begin the inning. Then he struck out Ricky Thompson and got Ryan Norton to fly out to right. Perhaps it took a couple of batters for him to settle down. He's about to get himself out of an enormous jam. An 0-2 count to Stephen Gary. Fielded by Bodie, and he takes it himself. And the Calallen Wildcats are streaming out of the dugout. They just dodged an enormous bullet. You would think they just won the title, but the Calallen Wildcats are absolutely elated to get out of that horrible mess. 2 runners on base to begin the inning, and Wayne Magnet gets out of it. Heads-up play by Matt Bodie to field that ball cleanly and make the tag. We're heading to extra innings in the 4A championship game. And we are ready to play an 8th. This game already, with the rain delays included, has taken a little more than 4 hours to play so far. And we're going to play a little more. Calallen bats in the top of the 8th. Jason Broughton to lead things off. He'll be followed by J.R. DeLeon and Clint Miller. Kyle Stutes on the mound for PNG. After the long rain delay, he came in and got John Ross Hirschfield to ground out to Dustin Long at short to retire the side. A huge breaking ball by Stutes, swung on a miss by Broughton. Broughton 0 for 2 in the game. He flew out to left and grounded out to short in the 6th inning. He walked and scored. In fact, he scored what is the tying run so far. More on that in a moment. It was Broughton who came across with the game-tying run in the 6th inning after a throwing error. With the bases loaded, allowed he and John Ross Hirschfield to score. And a shot down the left field line, it's foul. Joe Callahan, the third base umpire, right on top of the play. And Calallen is just a few inches away from having an enormous extra base hit to lead off the inning. As it is, the count is 2-2. And the ball hits Broughton. And Stutes is going to challenge that he never made an attempt to get out of the way of the ball. Or that he came out of the batter's box. Either way, Paul Burnett, the home plate umpire, will not change his decision. And a leadoff runner aboard in Jason Broughton. Now we'll have a pinch hitter for J.R. DeLeon. DeLeon was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And now pinch hitter Dwayne Magnan, now the pitcher, showing bunt, trying to move the runner over. Wagnon whiffs again at the bunt attempt. Several fans of Moody High School in Corpus Christi have stuck around even though their 5A championship game has been pushed until tomorrow. Many of the Moody fans trying to watch a neighbor from Corpus Christi trying to pull one out. Swinging and a strike three. Wagner goes down on strikes. Now Clint Miller will come up and try to do something with Broughton at first. The PNG crowd trying to get their fans stirred up as Kyle Stutes operates with one out in the top of the 8th inning, facing Clint Miller. First pitch, a breaking ball across for a strike. Well, they pulled the tarp off, and unlike the first time where they brought out big flamethrowers and everything else to dry out the dirt, they pretty much just pulled out the tarp and began to play, so a lot of moisture on the ground still, as no attempts were really made to get a lot of the moisture off the dirt or condition the dirt. They got the tarp off and said play ball. So muddy dirt areas around the 3 base paths, home plate, and the pitcher's mound, as now a 1-1 count to Clint Miller. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Just got a piece of it. Did Miller to stay alive. Waiting on deck is Sam Gordon. The 1-2 pitch. Foul out of play. Again, the 1-2 pitch. Popped up, and Cody Clark is calling for it and has it. In foul ground, and there are 2 away. Sam Gordon now looking to provide one more opportunity to take advantage of the leadoff batter that got aboard in the person of Jason Broughton. There you see his stuff for the day. A single in the 3rd in which he scored, and the ground out to 3rd and the strikeout in the 6th. Big fastball from Stutes. The 0-1 pitch. Taken inside for a ball. Well, if Gordon keeps this inning alive, the Wildcats go back to the top of their lineup. Kirk Hubble is on deck. Next offering from Stutes. A ball, runs the count to 2-1. Incidentally, PNG and their half of the 8th will bring their top of the order to the plate, as Troy Cooley will begin the inning. But now Kyle Stutes, hoping that that score remains tied when his team steps to the plate. A 2-ball, 1 strike count to Sam Gordon, who hammers another one foul. And that little area over there was full of Yoakum fans awaiting their team's chance to battle China Spring for the 3A championship. Now they've all headed home for the afternoon. China Spring and Yoakum, one good thing about it is they're within a couple of hours of Austin, so those folks are able to head home and come back tomorrow. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike three. Kyle Stutz gets out of a huge jam, allowing a leadoff runner on base on a hit by pitch, but he gets out of it to the bottom of the 7th inning of the 4A championship game. Bottom of the 8th we go. PNG needs one run to claim a state championship. But Troy Cooley pops up foul, and Clint Miller has it. Out number one for the Indians. And those of us who have followed some of the UIL championships are having nightmares about the softball tournament, when Brazos Wood and Bryan went 16 innings to decide their championship. PNG just hoping they can close it out right here in the 8th. Chase Richards now to the plate. Richards, 2 for 4, but he's reached base 3 times. And drills a ball into center field for a base hit. Kirk Hubble doing everything he can to stay in front of that ball and keep it a single. And just like the 7th, PNG creating a little drama, putting base runners on the pads. And now it looks like we might have a pinch runner for Richards, as some fleet feet that represent the championship run will replace Richards. That's going to be Adam Ledoux, that we've seen earlier in the game. Ledoux, we're now told. Clark 0 for 4. He struck out a couple of times, and in the first inning, he reached on a fielder's choice, was stranded at third base. Ledoux at first, representing championship run. Wayne Magnan rocks and fires. Pitch foul off. We've seen a few errors by the fans as well. A 1-1 pitch to Clark. Swing and a miss. Runner going, and out by a mile is Ledoux. Clint Miller nails the runner at second. The Wildcat fans jazzed about Clint Miller throwing down a rocket to second base to run down Adam Ledoux. Now Miller, I don't know if it's Miller or the umpire, Paul Burnett. Well, that throw from Wagner, thrown short, hit the dirt, and Miller making a nice attempt to get in front of that ball and block the ball, but shaking up a little bit. Now a 2-2 pitch coming up to Cody Clark. Swung on and drilled to Brandon Whitner at short, over to first, and the throw is offline. It gets away from Hirschfield, and heading to second is Clark. Once again, championship run stands at second base. And now the dangerous Bo Wortham will come to the plate. And now, Michael DeFay will pinch run for Clark, who will get a nice welcome from his teammates. DeFay Jr., who now represents state championship run for the Indians. And Bo Wortham at the plate. He is 2 for 4 in the afternoon. Wagner throws a fastball that Wortham took an enormous cut at. DeFee had a lead. It was off the dirt. Wagner had to chase him back. Now Wortham thought about it, but he held a swing. And Dale Miller, the first base umpire, giving the clear. One pitch, swung on a miss. Another huge cut by Wortham. Big moment here. Championship run at second. A 1-2 pitch to Wortham. Taken outside for a ball as Wagner was on his way to the dugout. Runs the count even. 2 away. And the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Wagner gets out of another jam. And we will play 9 in Austin. And to the 9th inning we go. In the Class 4A state championship game of Texas for 2000. The Calallen Wildcats bringing the top of their lineup to the plate. Kirk Hubble leading things off. Facing Kyle Stutz of Port Neches-Groves. As you see the quick dry they put on the pitcher's mound around the batter's box, that's the first work that's really been done to any portion of the dirt since we came back from the rain delay. I mentioned before, it's kind of caught everyone off guard once they pulled the tarp off. They said play ball, and it was time to go. But some patchwork has been done to the mound in the batter's box. In for a strike. 1-2 to Hubble. That ball foul out of play. Hubble will be followed by Matt Bodie and Brandon Whitner. Missing high, evens the count at 2-2. Suits, 2-2 pitch. Taken high for a ball, a tempting one for Hubble, but he lays off, running the count full. Hubble 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. The payoff pitch. Misses high, ball 4. Once again, the leadoff runner aboard for the Wildcats, just as last inning when Jason Broughton got on, when he was hit by a pitch. Now, Matt Bodie to the plate. Calallen fans, many of them on their feet, and watching Matt Bodie facing off with Kyle Stutes and a runner on. That bunt attempt fouled off. Well, the UIL record book doesn't keep track of what games go to extra innings. At least we know that it's hard to tell which of the recent 4A games has gone into extra innings. That pitch taken inside for a ball. Last year, 2 of the championship games, or no championship game, went to extra innings. Actually, the 4A game last year, Calallen and Andrews went to 8 to decide theirs, as Andrews won that game 4-3. Matt Bodie 0 for 4 today. He's flown out to center field and right field, grounded out to the pitcher and struck out. Now faces a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The big lefty, Kyle Stutes, staring down Bodie, who chops one to the right side. Fielded by Clark, over to second, in time for 1, back to first, and Bodie runs over Ricky Thompson, who was covering at first. He is safe. And that's the way it stands. Bodie at first on the fielder's choice after the 3-6 to get off the lead runner. So Cody Clark doing his job and getting the lead runner. But 1 still aboard with 1 out for Brandon Whitner. That's fouled out of play. High on the screen. It chases off a couple of pitches. Those pigeons causing about as much havoc as the weather. More than rain has dropped from the sky inside this fog, if you know what I mean. It's had a few folks scrambling. No balls and 1 strike. to Whitner. The ball gets by Wortham. And now Calallen with the go-ahead run at second base. Well, since the sixth inning, when they tied the score with 2 runs, that is the furthest they've advanced a runner. Whitner enjoying a 2-for-4 afternoon with a couple of doubles. And a line to shot to center field. It's going to fall for a base hit. And Bodie's being waved around home. The throw home is a good one. The plate. He's safe. Bodie breaks across the go-ahead run. An RBI double by Brandon Whitner. An outstanding throw from center field as Ryan Norton came up firing. A one-hopper to Bo Wortham, the catcher, but unable to catch up with Bodie, who comes across with a go-ahead run in the 9th inning. And Calallen isn't done yet. Derek Rushop now at the plate. Brandon Whitner standing on second base with his 3rd double of this game. He's got to be absolutely trembling after firing a rocket to center field. Big cut by Rushop. Boy, what I noticed in that play, that last play that scored the run was a fantastic play in center field by Ryan Norton, playing that ball off a hop, coming up firing, and a beautiful one-hop throw right on the money at home plate. Just not quite in time to beat the speedy Matt Bodie. As Coach Steve Chapman down the third baseline, nearly throwing his arm out of socket, waving him in. A 2-ball, 1-strike count to Rushop. A high fly ball to left field, but Stephen Gary is under it and has out number 2. Whitner retreats back to second base. And there are 2 away. Now John Ross Hirschfield will try to give the Wildcats one more insurance run. B&G will bring to the lineup Dustin or Kyle Stoops to begin their half of the inning. Hirschfield 2 for 4. A double in the 3rd. He was left stranded at third base. A single in the 6th. He ended up scoring. What was the run that cut the deficit to 1? Lines the ball to third base. Fielded by Chase Richards to throw to first. Gets underneath the glove of Clark. And here comes Whitner with another run. It's a 2-run lead for Calallen. Well, defensive miscues allowed Calallen back in this game, and now it's allowing them to distance themselves from P&G. And the ball gets by Wortham. Hirschfield advancing to second. Two runs are home. Another awaits on second. As there's two away in the top of the ninth. Jason Broughton began the eighth inning, but was left stranded now in the ninth with an opportunity to add another. Cody Clark, the first baseman for P&G, doing all he can and just not getting accurate throws to work with. The big throw from Stutz. Misses, and Stutz falls behind at 2-1. Lifted high to the left side. Chase Richards chasing after it. In foul ground and has it. And the side is retired. But not before the Calallen Wildcats come up with two runs. They're 3 outs away from ending a horrible 2-year stretch of misery that has ended with a loss in the championship round. A 2-run lead in the 4A championship. At the bottom of the ninth inning we go. Port Neches-Groves needs 2 runs to salvage their season. An outstanding season at that, regardless of what the outcome is. But 2 runs to extend this game, and 3 to claim a state championship. I'll qualify what I said a moment ago about Calallen. They say miserable seasons. Not miserable seasons the last 2 years, but miserable endings to those seasons. Kyle Stutz to lead things off for P&G. Calallen has, as we've said, the last 2 years, losing to Highland Park of Dallas in '98 and Andrews last year in 8 innings in the state championship game. Should P&G come back and take this game, Calallen will own a dubious distinction as the only team in Texas high school baseball history to lose in 3 consecutive title games. But Wayne Wagnon looking to end all that suspense. He loses Stutz. A leadoff walk. As the Wildcats are just 3 outs away from a state championship. Matt McKee now. Pinch running. And there's a youngster who's going to remember may not remember, but was around when Port Neches-Groves and Calallen played for about 5 hours with rain delays and all. Extra innings, rain delays. Probably one of the longer games that anyone around here can remember. Huge cut by Ricky Thompson. The artificial surface of Dishwalk Field, cursed by many, is allowing these 2 teams to continue to play. Here at the bottom of the ninth, the 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. Of course, these 4A schools had the opportunity to play at the beautiful Dell Diamond at Round Rock. Home of the Round Rock Express, the AA Texas League team. And another very wild pitch gets by Clint Miller, and we've seen a handful of those today. pitches that aren't just wild, but darn near insane. Two balls and 2 strikes to Ricky Thompson. McKee at second base. Called strike 3 eventually by home plate umpire Paul Burnett. Looked like Thompson succeeded the at-bat, started walking towards the dugout. It just took Burnett a while to make the call. Building the suspense, I guess. So 1 out for Ryan Norton. He has flown out to the outfield 3 times and singled in the 3rd. Wagenau needs a minute to take a few paces and discuss things with R.B. Powell, the second base umpire. Now ready to go, Ryan Norton. Big breaking ball, just misses. 1-1 the count. That pitch just missing outside. Ryan Norton hitting .278. And the senior with a 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off into the screen. Wagon looks in again. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Norton hanging tough, and a nice catch made by the fan, and the Calallen side of first base. It's now a fairly decent day for all the rain it's been. It's 74 degrees and a gentle breeze coming in. Another 2-2 pitch to Norton. Swung on it, strike 3. Dropped by Miller, but he makes the tag. There's 2 away. And Calallen is 1 out away from erasing a lot of hurtful memories of the last couple of seasons. 1 out away from a state champion. Stephen Gary steps to the plate. Calallen fans on their feet. A grounder to Hirschfield. He'll take it himself. The 3rd time the charm. Calallen has won it. Well, Calallen has come so close so many times in so many different sports. But the one thing that has eluded so many of Calallen's, some of their finest athletes to come to that school, has been the state championship trophy. But the wait is no more. A big 6th and 9th inning for the Wildcats, helped along by some miscues of the Fort Neches-Groves defense. And after back-to-back championship game losses, the Calallen Wildcats will make history of a different kind. Well, shortly we will see the medal presentations and the championship trophy presentation. And we will close off this microphone and allow the pictures to do the remainder of the talking. A happy, happy group of Calallen Wildcats as no head bigger than Brandon Whitner coming through with the game-winning RBI double in the top of the ninth. Matt Bodie running for his life and beating an outstanding throw from Ryan Norton in center field to come across with the go-ahead run. An 8-6 win in 9 innings. Our special thanks to the University Interscholastic League and their staff, especially that of Peter Contreras, the baseball tournament coordinator, for everyone who's been a part of it, of this one on this side. Engineer, producer, Randall Crossman, photographers, Mike Orta and Daryl Allen. My name is Keith Fletcher. It's a pleasure to bring you the 4A state championship game, and we will watch the presentation of the championship medals and trophies. So long from Austin.
there. I threw the other day, and I was a little sore, but that's the fight with it. The goal, this means more than anything. And I just did it for my team.
What's the secret to your success, man? You had a day off yesterday. I mean, what happened?
I didn't have much of my power pitches, but my off-speed stuff was great. It was working good. I got a lot of ground balls and everything out of it, so I just felt that was most effective.
I just went up there looking for just something to get it going, and I saw him once he got on second with that pass ball. I was thinking I got to do something to get him in, and I just came through. It was just we were rested. We got more sleep. All day yesterday we just sat in our hotel, and we were wanting to play yesterday, but today was good enough for us, I guess.
How do you feel? Are you speechless?
Yeah, obviously, yes. I'm happy as can be. Been here 6 times and finally won the thing, all out.
We had to fight to win this one. Describe that.
No doubt. We've had a fight all year long with this whole season, and it's been a great season. I mean, unbelievable.
How did the day off yesterday affect your play today, good or bad?
I don't think it affected our play at all because our kids are focused and they were ready to play, and they came ready to play. Obviously, the conditions made it a little bit tougher playing on throws and stuff, but they came through like champs.
Captains, please come forward.